Happy Friday. I thought I would take this time to go over some of the details of our pledge drive. I know that life is still pretty overwhelming for most of our Chalice folks, and that you've gotten emails and a pledge packet. So I just wanted to pull out some of the highlights of the things I hope are starting, the pieces of information I hope are getting to you. So first, we have started with a kind of serious letter and message from our board about our financial challenges this year. You received that in an email, and then many of you will have gotten that in the mail also with your pledge packet. So, and the board has held some listening sessions to talk about the budget more in depth with people who have questions and want to know more. So I hope you have received that message and had a chance to look at it. When I say you received a pledge packet in the mail, that's going to be true for our members, our friends, and people who have been attending Chalice regularly. If you didn't get one, you're probably newer to the congregation, but you're welcome to have one. We do have them at Chalice. And I'll try to put them in the table at the main worship door on Sunday morning. So if you didn't get a pledge packet, there's more information in there than just the letter from Tom, although that's in there. There's some information about how the church budget is spent and where we get our income. And if you're a first-time pledger, there's a sheet there to help you think about how much you might want to pledge. So there's information about what the average pledge is and how you think about your commitment and your involvement at Chalice and all those kinds of things. So anyone is welcome to have a pledge packet, but we mailed it to many of you. So yeah, and so also we've been emailing out this week some video testimonials, and there are more to come. But you heard from Laura Brown. Kicked off our pledge drive on Sunday. There was a video testimonial from Tom Karlstrom in the e-news. And then just today, you heard from Kate Vereb sharing her thoughts about Chalice. I just want to say these really move me. I hope they do you too. I know for those of us who are very engaged at Chalice, it just becomes a part of our lives, and we maybe don't reflect on it all the time. So Pledge Drive is one of those times to, reflect on what this community means. I'm preparing for worship on Sunday. My sermon is about community, and I never had really thought before that, sorry, my cat's here. I'd never really thought before, but Unitarian Universalist religious community is really the first intentional community I've ever belonged to outside of my family, which is unintentional community. So, we use the word community has become a part of my life, and I just had never thought that until I found at UU Church, I didn't really have a community. So I guess maybe at college was a community, but, I didn't know everybody there, and, it was always going to be for a short amount of time. Anyway, I just wanted to name that. It's not my place to give a testimonial, but, and I was just reflecting on that and how much, my life has been filled with community ever since I joined a UU church. So if there's only one thing you take away from today's message, I hope it is that you mark on your calendar that April 16th, Sunday, April 16th, you want to come to Chalice. That is our celebration Sunday. We'll be celebrating the close of the pledge drive. The service that day is about Unitarian Universalism and will hopefully feel uplifting. It's a lay-led service. You'll get to hear from some of your fellow congregants. And there will be a bounce house for the kids between services. So, there may be some goodies. Oh, maybe it is after each service. I think it is after each service. I take it back. And that most people are going to be people done with 9 o'clock and arriving early for 11 o'clock. Between services is a robust time on our courtyard. But there will be a bounce house for children at those times. There should be some delicious food. I think we're working on music. So even if you can't make it to service at 9 or 11 that day, come at 10 and be social and visit with everybody. It should be a fun, good time. We haven't had something we've called a spirit booster in a while, and so we should think of April 16th as a spirit booster for us. However the pledge drive goes, we're going to be celebrating on April 16th. Okay, so there's a couple of pieces of information there's one piece of information you haven't gotten yet, and that is about our pledgeometer, our pledge meter. So we have in the chapel, you see this image next to me of a chalice. So we've taken that and made it black and white, and we're going to color it in as the pledge drive goes on. So the flames will be the number of pledges we receive. So we have 93 what are called pledge units, because some pledgers are a solo person and some people pledge as a couple. So whether you're a pledge unit. So we have 93 pledge units right now. We would love to get that up to 110. So that means we're hoping we get some new pledges. And so we'll be coloring those in as the pledges come in. And then the base of the chalice, this pewter, the silver part, will be where we'll track the dollars. We're hoping to increase pledging by $50,000 to get to $340,000 pledged. That's a big leap, but we will fill that in for each of the next 3 Sundays to track how we're doing. So, we'll try to take a picture of it or something and can email out Sunday after service. So we heard from people that they like a pledge thermometer. So this is our pledgeometer for this year, and should be fun. And what should be the most fun, we really want to encourage you to come to church on Sunday. There'll be a time in the service. So this is for each of the next 3 Sundays at both services. There'll be time in the service where you can either bring up your pledge card then, or if you have already made your pledge during your pledge commitment during the week, you turned it in online, you put it in the mail, you emailed it to Kathleen, you already turned it in, but you can still come on Sunday and we'll give you a form that you can check that says, I made my pledge commitment this week. And there'll be a time to come and turn it in together. And I don't want to give it away. It will just be really fun. We hope it'll be a lighthearted, fun part of the service, and there will be some confetti. I'll tell you that much. So anyway, it is while the kids are still in the service because we think the kids will like to see it. So however you turn your pledge in, be sure to come on Sunday and be part of that moment of celebration on Sunday morning as we celebrate our pledge drive ongoing and show how we're doing on filling in our pledgeometer. Okay, so I think those were all the little details I wanted to lift up. I know y'all have so much going on. Heard from actually a couple of people today that they have a loved one passing. And of course, life's joys and sorrows continue no matter what else is going on. So, there she is. Where can you see? My cat hates the sound of my talking. So she wants out of here, but I'm almost done. Anyway, blessings and love to all of you. And if you have any questions about pledging or the pledge drive, feel free to ask me, to ask our treasurer, Victoria Cagle, to ask Callie Leaf, who's the head of coordinating team. You could ask probably anyone on the board for certain kinds of details. So, blessings and love to each of you. Take care.